Chapter 6 The Human Beast. Begin all acts and thinking by using El-Kaloum the All. Tablet 3 The Mission. 19 times 2 equals 38. Lo, Anu Elyon Elyon El, the most highest of the high ones, who is the breath in my body, the blood in my veins, the light in my day. Please help me love those who do not overstand me and hate me, not knowing that you sent me to them with Nuwupu, the right knowledge. O Anu Elyon Elyon El, the Most High, could I have been sent to lead the ants? Since 4/5 of all living creatures are insects, I think they could have overstood better than these vainglorious human beings. O Anu Elyon Elyon El, the Most High, my ruler, forgive me for this question. It is the cry of the half-human nature you gave me in your work. O my beloved grandfather Anu, do I have permission to cry for those who do not love you? The hurt, the pain that they are doomed to receive for their transgressions, for they cannot see nor hear you. I know, O my father, that you gave them senses with which to praise you. O ruler, who has the power to extract the salt from our tears and the savour from the salt, divide also the disagreeable from the agreeable in our hearts. Part again the Reed Sea, called the Red Sea, by those who need to rethink. Part again agreeableness and disagreeableness in the earth, and let us walk your path, the path of those before us. O my Father, I see the path, and I want to teach them to walk on it, for the love of you, and not because of fear. Help me, help me. O seal of El-Nabiat, the Prophet's newsbearers Muhammad, the Comforter, I see you have glorified Yeshua's name, Rarashil Anu. He has sent you to them, but they do not have faith. I still love them so very much. Sheikh Kadir, thank you for your time. Again, green is our destiny in earth, for it is as refreshing as the birth of grass, the growth of trees and flowers, the sound of birds, the signs of summer. You put the illustrious truth in my humble heart. Now I even desire to help the cursed people, for they too need my help. Clean them not of their cursed disease, but of the signs of their hands and feet which keep them pointing and walking as if to say, I cannot see Elyon Elyon El, the Most High, but they do. Please take their hands off the faces of my foolish brothers and sisters, daughters and sons. Let them see, please. Let me blink for the whole world, and when my eyes are open again, let them see Nusku, who bore the title Gabriel, and his host before you. For you and only you are the provider of all things. What we see and cannot see, plus what we miss and try to miss, is what I speak to the whole world. I am here for you, and I am the lamp which will light the way to Elyon Elyon El, the Most High. Look this way, look this way. I am here, love Elyon Elyon El, the Most High. I am here to teach love, love of Elyon Elyon El, the Most High. O Anu, the Most High, forgive us all. Tablet 4 The Wanderers. 19 times 12 equals 228. Lo, while on this planet Earth I stretch forth my hands to all flesh, importing on you the comforting spirit. The self-same spirit that lights all that live, passing from one world to the next, and even many others. Continents float, yet pebbles sink. No one knows save Anu, the Most High, the Strengthener, our Father who art in the skies. O holy Anu, the Most High, eternal and alone, all-seeing. Trust me, worship him as though you see him. Truly at all times he sees you. Put the captive bone of your right hand on your nose, all fingers pointing upwards, and try to describe your hand without memorizing it. It is too close to see. That's what happens with this world. You are too close to see its evils. Be one fungus under the rock in the middle of the deepest ocean. He sees you through the eyes of all plant life. The world is never silent, totally balanced by his command. Yamam, sea life, or Yam, known as the deity of the sea, the reptilians, the serpents or snakes, those beings that whisper not hiss, the creatures that whisper into the hearts of human beings. Those of you will never see, though you crowd the earth, killing, stealing, lying, and destroying in attempts to put out the very light shining in the ignorance your temple. because you don't overstand it, the pure black light. Can't you perceive my birds take flight with grace, and my bees alighting down lightly on leaves less its weight? The bee, fearfully and wonderfully made, fearfully because of 5 eyes, 3 simple in a triangle on its head, 2 compounds on the side of 1,000 single eyes. The bee cannot focus because he has no pupils. She cannot see the red flowers, only blue, yellow and ultraviolet, just as the rays of the sun. The man fears the stinger, it is poisonous. This is her only means of self-defense, in which her 22 muscles control it. Even when it has been pulled out of the bee's body, she dies at its loss, but the queen survives it. It has 5,000 nostrils. Its wings vibrate 11,400 times per minute. By the time it has gathered 1 pound of honey, it has traveled a distance of 50,000 miles. The circumference of the earth is 24,896 miles. Times 2, it is 49,792. Remarkable. The bee is deaf. Natural communications which share their knowledge work all things. Alerted to danger, workers stand guard over the hive against invaders. They sacrifice their lives for the safety of the community, both the bee and the faithful. In flight, they travel forward, backward, sideways and hover. 10,000 kinds in a species, communal and solitary. The solitary bee is alone, trying to make it by herself. It is neither devoted nor as faithful. It baffles man as to how the bee knows what to do and when to do it. Wonderfully, because it makes its honey and beeswax. This long tongue it possesses is designed to suck up nectar into its honey stomach, not too much bigger than the head of a needle. She would have to make 60 trips to collect 1 thimbleful, and the hard workers would make up to 1,000 visits. Stop and reflect of the industry of the bee. Next time you eat this mystical honey, she collects pollen and molds it into a solid mass for transport on the back of her legs at such an incredible speed that it is impossible to detect each movement. The honeycomb is a mass of hexagonal 6-sided cells for the storage of honey and eggs. It is made of beeswax, a type of wax produced by special glands in the worker bee's abdomen. It oozed out through pores on her abdomen, where she collects it and after chewing it, turns it into beeswax. It is produced only when needed. The hexagons are geometrically perfect, representing the 6-pointed star. Honey is an overlooked miraculous food created by Elyon El, the Most High for mortals, a popular medicine and the principal part of ointments and plasters, an antibacterial, fermenting at 60 degrees and absorbs moisture when stored at 60% relative humidity. Composed of highly concentrated H2O solution of sugars, 1 dextrose, 2 levulose, a carbohydrate high energy source. Other sugars are 12 in number: isomaltose, furanose, maltose, nigerose, koji boys, lucrose, melexitose, urlose, kestose and raffinose. Honey also contains 11 minerals: potassium, chlorine, sulfur, calcium, sodium, phosphorus, manganese, silica, iron, magnesium and copper. It is said of our servant Ahmed, when he reached the 7th heaven and met our servant Yeshua, Tammuz, Jesus or Isa, he was offered a cup filled with honey. Paradise has rivers flowing with honey. There are signs in this for those who have an ear to hear and eyes to see. The honey cures the body naturally of its ailments. Nuwapu cures the soul of falsehoods and confusion. Anu, the Most High, created the society of the honeybee and established the intricate laws by which it is governed, the holy tabernacle. The life of the honeybee is the life of the people, adaptable to all extremes of climate, and are fed and made secure through hardship and tribulation. The hexagon and thus the 6-pointed star are symbolic of Anu's protection. I seek refuge in Anu from the cursed Shaitan. The life of the honeybee represents a life of discipline. The individual honeybee is important only when it is part of a colony or community. So it is with the faithful. They are of no importance as an I or an individual. but as a we collectively. That's why we hold firmly to the rope of Anu, the Most High, together as one. The beehive's dome is the same structure as the crown's dome. It's another sign. The structure of the Holy Tabernacle community, called in tones Ansaru Allah, the colony of bees consists of one leader bee, Al-Sayyid Isa Al-Haadi Al-Mahdi, or just Imam Isa, and thousands of worker bees. The Holy Tabernacle is symbolic of this great community. In that society, the Queen is the most powerful and makes all the decisions. Our leader and teacher, known to us as Naya Malachi Zadok York-El Baba Yaa-Nun, is the example and the person in whom the qualities of advancement of the true way of life and the strengthening of all children of the Allahum in the community are essential and one. The workers are builders. And our servant Ahmed received in El-Gadash Quran, the Holy Quran, the sacred reading, 16th degree, verse 68. And your sustainer Allahum, who is Rab, has inspired sent unto the Nile bee, that they are to put homes, hives into mountains and into trees, and in the places man constructs. So they were caused to work in ways of your love humbly. There goes out from its innermost part, bellies, a drink that is different. Its colour, in it is a healing cure for people who use it. Surely, in that is verily a sign for a nation of people who think. The many colours are dark brown, light brown, yellow, clear, and many other colours. The yellow is that of saffron, the dried orange stigmas of the plant, used for cooking and dyeing. Crocus statius. It is said of our servant Ahmed, saying, there is a remedy in 3 things: the incision of a cupping glass, a drink of honey, a cauterization by fire, but I forbid people to cauterize. It is also said of our noble servant Ahmed, that at a feast of his wedding with Sophia, the main dishes included honey, dates and cream. On the occasion when he received the injunction for Salat worship, he was given vessels from which to choose, of wine, milk and honey. He took and drank of the milk, and Nusku, who bore the title Gabriel, said to him, milk is deen, you and your people will be of it. Once the time comes for man to live a real peaceful way of life, the sweetness of honey suddenly becomes hard to live. The bitterness of truth is living to see all that was prophesied come to pass. Once a rose asked me, she said, Master, about my thorns. Our father knew this being a man. Tell me why men, who in his selfishness rips me from your pure earth, raping me of my home in the name of expressing his synthetic affections. My beauty, which Elyon El, the Most High, the Glorious, the Seer, the Bestower, has thrown upon me the same, gave me the thorn to protect my beauty from all who see his gifts, I being a symbol of resurrection. Oh, how I envy the dandelion, yet she, believing in face value beauty, envies me. For in his gifts, the half-time of the sun, each time I blossom again. In time, the moon and the stars cycle as they wax around your heavens. Remember the beauty of my sister Sarah, the rose, and the duration of my sister Hagar, the dandelion, also known as the Tamaraean deity Hathor, for she was of that school. The rose, with a crackle of sadness in her voice, she said, Master, I asked you send me a helping protector, for the parents of beauty is ultimate deception. Why? They outwitted me, cut me down by modern means. She sighed as the wind blew and cried. I turned deep into my own spiritual heart. Time passed, and with a tear glittering like the sun in my right eye, I comforted her with thoughts of peace in the enclosed garden of delight, the gardens of paradise. I apologize in every way. I know for human beings, from Cadman, also called Zakar and Adam, to Ahmed, for tearing down the surrounding gates of the first garden of earth, Eden. Yet, could I make no excuse for him that fell from grace, ever so beautiful in the heavens, and yet so ugly in his heart? The female deity of fowl, the peacock, entered by disguise into our garden. My thoughts, walking in the cool of the sunlit day, I stood upon a lofty hill admiring the scenes. The wind was still, the grass was ever so green. I closed my eyes, silence of the day turned into shadow hour. I beseech you after Tarful, O Master of Masters, Creator of all things, how can I? For it seems he takes pleasure in turning light into fire, water into toxic beverages, stones into weapons of destruction, wisdom into lies, elements into molecules, destroyers and atom splitters, protector air into poison, fruit seedless, our animals into his pets, love into lust, necessity into greed, people into devils, angelic beings into jinn, the learned into fools, and religion into actors parading in the garb of righteousness. Even I, oftentimes confused and beguiled by the tricks and deceit of that which lurks in their chest, desire to help those with all that you have given me, many a time more than they can count. If each being added 1,000,000 years to his life, even so now I cry more tears than all the waters of the seas together. I vex more than all the war of all the worlds of myself, for I know. I suffer more than all diseases that plague life, for I feel. I hurt more than all the broken hearts of the deceived in all the worlds. I ache. Yet still again and again, I love them even more, and will carry out your truth in your name. To see but one face shining in truth is fusion of helium and hydrogen, birth of a new sun in my life. Their young ones, oh how they know so well. I, in all my efforts, will see to it that they be joined with you again. O Anu the Most High, add more time to the second and in the minute, and the minute in the hour, and the hour in the day, and the day in the week, and the week in the month, and the month in a year, and the year in a decade, and the decade in a century, and the century in an eon. For their sakes I seek your grace, that I may make them see your splendor. O Yielder, O Merciful, why is it that the real Quran was hated by them, from one cover the first to the other the last? They even made a false Quran to fool the fools. Is life truly made clear? Oh, why must they have it their own way? O holy seal of all the prophets, the seed of Cadman, did you know this small thing would be? Over it are 19. Mustafa Muhammad Al-Amin, your sprout successor, Amir al-Mu'minin Ali, knew his sprout successor, the Mahdi, Muhammad Ahmed ibn Abdullah, the 19th Imam, and he knew Mother Earth. The laws of life and death, and when flesh returns to you when you die, it is too late to beseech forgiveness. Quicksand is our carpet over hell. People will be drawn into hell, but it's only the man, not of the jungle. Those not part of the evolutionary process from genus Homo to Homo erectus to Homo sapien. These beings in human form are only here to do harm. Even so, from this moment on they must start to live in truth. Give them one dot as given to me, it will suffice. From a dot to a diagonal line, the line downward forms a wall. The wall forms then a cube, the Kaaba, the navel of this earth to the Mohammedans. All Muslims world over try and move in any other direction. All life moves as the Kaaba, the navel of the planet Earth, now in the hands of the evil ones. O sweet sword, double-edged, ever so sharp, cut lies, when within our own nature may we heal the wounds with the water of Shafuwain for the ones once fooled. Find them wherever they may hide in this one garden, confront them with their own selves. Show the pure crystal light unto them, that they may be known, and the men will not be deceived. There are some that say they have faith, and they think that they are in peace by that alone. Yet with heavy hearts he tied us 6 knot thrice, increasing by their diseased, calling through prayer in the name of Allah, who is also called El-Elo and Elah. Their prayer was never leaving this atmosphere, neither was it heard in the heavens, but their iniquities have come up before us, calling you even more. You know yourselves better than I. What you claim besides Anu, the Most High, will be your hell. And if you claim in the name of Anu, the Most High, dropping all other things, it will be your salvation once you pass. He, Halal, has turned rough road smooth for the traveller seeking the shortcut, standing at the end as a pot of gold, eager to help stop Anu, the Most High's words from flowing even now through my spirit. I am nothing but a prayer. I want nothing but to worship for many shadow hours, 1,000 to 1, 1 to 1,000, none better than one shadow hour of power in our world. But in their time, they don't overstand the little verse. By, for a surety they are losing. They don't see the abundance that has been bestowed upon them, or by the web of that one spider weaving a shelter cave. I seek protection with you from the acts that live in their minds, and they leave their bodies painted red, burnt black faces, leopard hearts, yet with room to slander and hate me, none of them knowing what they have become and who they help. I can't worship enough. I can't ask for your forgiveness enough for my wrongs. O Anu, the Most High, you alone sent me more miles than they can count in all their times, just to be with them, to eat the bread and sip of the wine unfermented. I am willing to go yet still further, for you have prepared after my anointed, after my incarnation into flesh, a table before me, before the eyes of our enemy. Going on, I am ever seeking the purifiable ones. Their eyes never see or know anything of the other worlds. I cohabitated as a visitor to maintain my sanity with the whale that carried our servant Jonah, also called Janus, and all the fish. We ate together, we laughed together, and we spoke concerning the first deluge, and our servant and his family are spared. O Utnapishtim, who is also called Noah, remember the fish asked Anu, the Most High, that you, being perfect in your generation, shall be spared. Man never pondered on why the fish did not perish in the flood. They showed me the boundless colours of the kingdom of the seas. Melchizedek is the angel of righteousness, the first high priest of the order of Zadok, an order initiated by El, the Most High, power, maker, possessor, and sustainer of the heavens and earth. The first Zodokite to establish the order on earth for the pious age of humankind for Cain, who failed this test to walk with the Elohim as an upright being. This Melchizedek was born in physical form as a divine manifestation, which was recorded in the scroll of Adapha, also called Idris and Enoch. Before the flood of Utnapishtim, also called Noah, Melchizedek returned by craft back up into paradise, which resides in Shehakim, the third heaven. After the flood, he descended back to earth to build the great Jerusalem, the city of peace, also called Jerusalem, and to bless and teach Abram the Syrian, born in Ur of Chaldea, the great prophet, the first to cross over and be called a Hebrew. Abraham, as Abram was called, was given the promise from El, the Most High Power, that through him would come the promised seed down to Tammuz, called Yeshua, who himself was after the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek. The birth of Melchizedek. And Methuselah said to the people, Here is Naya, also Nanamnaya, the vessel by which he was to be born on earth, being without earthly mother or father. He will be in front of your face from the present day as a guide of the princes of the earth, the children of the Elohim, whom the chosen people of Israel shall worship. And the people answered Methuselah, Let it be so for us, and the word of El, who is Anu the Most High, be just, as he said to you. While Methuselah was speaking to the people, his spirit was convulsed, and kneeling on his knees he stretched out his hands to heaven, praying to El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator. As he was praying, his spirit went out. Naya and all the people hurried and constructed a sepulchre for Methuselah, and they placed around him incense and reeds and many holy things. Naya came with many praises, and the people lifted up Methuselah's body, glorifying Anu. They performed the service for him at the sepulchre which they had made for him, and they covered him over. The people said, How blessed is Methuselah in front of the face of the Elohim, and in front of the face of all the people. From there they assembled, and Naya said to the people, "Hurry up today. Bring sheep and bulls, turtle doves, pigeons and ostrich, so that we may make a feast of the sacrifice in front of the face of El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, and rejoice today. And then go away to your houses." The people gave heed to Naya, the Zadok priest, and they hurried and they brought their sheep, bulls, turtle doves, pigeons and ostrich, and they tied them up at the head of the altar. Naya took the knife of sacrifice, and he slaughtered them in front of the face of El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, and he did have them prepare a feast for those who were without fortune. The people ate well, and they made merry in front of the face of the Elohim all that day. They glorified Anu of the Elohim, the Saviour of Naya, in front of the face of the people, and from that day there was peace and order all over the earth in the days of Naya 202 years. Then the people turned away from El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, and they began to be envious, one against another, and the people went to war against people, and race rose up against race, and they struggled and insulted one another. They created names for those idols they worshipped, names such as Yahweh, Adonai, Baal, Dagon, and they took these names and supplanted them over their idols of ignorance. Even if the lips were the same, nevertheless, the heart chose different things. For the Luciferians, that is the Nakashites, became rulers for the third time, and Halal their ruler, calling Nakash Anu's Elohim. The first time was before paradise, the second time was in paradise, and the third time was after paradise, and continuing right up to the flood and on after. There arose disputation and great turbulence. Naya, the Zadok priest, heard and was greatly aggrieved. He said in his heart, "In truth, I have come to understand how the time has arrived, and the saying which Anu El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, said to Methuselah, the father of my father Lamech, Behold, the wife of Naya, whose name is Suphanim, is barren, and she has never given birth to a child by Naya at any time. Suphanim was in the time of her old age, and in the day of her death. She conceived in her womb, but Naya, the Zadok priest, had not slept with her, nor had he touched her, from the day that El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, had appointed him to conduct the liturgy in front of the face of the people. When Suphanim saw her pregnancy, she was ashamed and embarrassed, and she hid herself during all the days until she gave birth. Not one of the people knew about it. When 282 days had been completed, and the birth had begun to approach, and Naya remembered his wife, and he called her to himself in his house, so that he might converse with her. Suphanim came to Naya her husband. Behold, she was pregnant, and the day appointed for giving birth was drawing near. Naya saw her, and he became ashamed. He said to her, "What is this that you have done, O wife? Why have you disgraced me in front of the face of the people? Now depart from me, and go where you began the disgrace of your womb, so that I might not defile my hands on account of you, and sin in front of the face of El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator." Suphanim spoke to Naya her husband, saying, "O my Adonai, behold, it is the time of my old age, and the day of my death has arrived. I do not understand how my menopause and the barrenness of my womb has been reversed." Naya did not have faith in his wife, and for a second time he said to her, "Depart from me, or else I might assault you, and commit a sin in front of the face of El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator." It came to pass, when Naya had spoken to his wife in this manner, Suphanim fell down at Naya's feet and died. For the thought of distrust lay too heavy upon her heart. Naya was extremely distressed, and he said in his heart, "Could this have happened because of my word? Since by word and thought a person can sin in front of the face of El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator. Now may Anu, the Merciful, have mercy upon me. I know in truth in my heart that my hand was not upon her. So I said, Glory to you, Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu, Almighty Creator, because no one among human knows about this deed which Anu Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, has done. Naya hurried, and he shut the door of his house, and went to Utnapishtim his brother, and he reported to him everything that had happened in connection with his wife. And Utnapishtim hurried. He came with Naya his brother, and he came unto Naya's house, because of the death of Suphanim. And they were discussing between themselves how her womb was at the time of giving birth. Utnapishtim said to Naya, Don't let yourself be sorrowful, Naya, my brother, for Anu Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu the Almighty Creator, today has covered up our scandal, in that nobody from the people know this. Now let us go quickly, and let us bury her secretly, and Anu Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu the Almighty Creator, will cover up the scandal of our shame, for he alone knows that there is a divine in her womb, and he shall be an incarnation of Michael himself. They placed Suphanim on the bed, and they wrapped her around with black garments, and shut her in the house, so she was prepared for burial. They dug the grave in secret. A child came out of the dead Suphanim. He sat on the bed at her side. Utnapishtim and Naya came in to bury Suphanim, and they saw the child sitting by the dead Suphanim and wiping his person. Utnapishtim and Naya were very terrified with a great fear, because the child was fully developed physically like a 3-year-old. He spoke with his lips, and he blessed Anu Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu the Almighty Creator, saying, Forgive them, for they know not what they have done. Utnapishtim and Naya looked at him, and behold, the badge of priesthood was on his chest, and it was glorious in appearance. Utnapishtim and Naya said, Behold, Anu is renewing the priesthood from the blood related to us, just as he pleases. Utnapishtim and Naya hurried, and they washed the child, and they dressed him in the garments of priesthood, and they gave him the holy bread, and he ate it. They called his name Melchizedek. Utnapishtim and Naya lifted up the body of Suphanim, and divested her of the black garments, and they washed her, and they clothed her in exceptionally bright garments, and they built her shrine for her. Utnapishtim and Naya and Melchizedek came, and they buried her publicly. And Utnapishtim said to his brother Naya, Look after the child in secret until the time, because the people will become treacherous in all the earth, and they will begin to turn away from Anu. And having become totally ignorant, they will put him to death. Then Utnapishtim went away to his own place. Great lawlessness became abundant over the planet Earth in the days of Naya. Naya began to worry excessively, especially about the child, saying, How miserable it is for me, El-Alam, the everlasting, that in my days all lawlessness has become abundant over the earth. I realize how much nearer our end is, all over the earth, on account of the lawlessness of the people. Now El-Roy, the vision giver, symbol of the eye, what is the vision about this child, and what is his destiny, and what will I do for him? Yaa-Shamayah, the hearer, heeded Naya, and appeared to him in a vision in the shadow hour. He said to him, Naya, the great lawlessness which has come on the earth amongst the multitude, I shall not tolerate. Behold, I desire now to send out a great destruction on the earth, and everything that stands on the earth shall perish. But concerning the child, don't be anxious, Naya, because in a short while I shall send through him the archangel Michael, and he will take the child and put him in the paradise of Eden, in the paradise where Cadmon was formerly for 7 years, having the heavens open up all the time, up until when he became disagreeable. The child will not perish along with those who are perishing in this generation, as I have revealed it. So that Melchizedek will be the priest of all holy priests of the ancient and mystical order of Melchizedek, simply called Ammon, the vibration of all creation, and I will establish him so that he will be the head of the priests of the future. Naya rose from his sleep and blessed Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, who made appear to him his host, saying, Blessed be Anu of the Elohim, my fathers, who has told me how he has made the great priest in my day, in the womb of my wife. Because I had no child in this tribe who might become the great priest. But this is my son and your servant, and you are Anu the Great One. Therefore honor him together with your servants and great priests, and with Seth, and Enos, and Rusi, and Anilam, and Frasidam, and Malaleel, and Serach, and Arusan, and Dalim, and Dadaphah, and Methusalem, and myself your servant Niah. Behold, Melchizedek will be the head of the 24 elders who existed before. Afterward, in the last generation, there will be another Melchizedek, the first of the 12 elders, and the last will be the head of all, a great archpriest, the word and power of Anu, who will perform miracles, greater and more glorious than all the previous ones. He, Melchizedek, will be priest and king in a place called Akusan, also called Argata and Shambhala, that is to say, in the center of the earth, where Cadmon's birth plan was created, and there will be his final grave. In connection with the archpriest, it is written how he will also be buried there, where the center of the earth is, just as Cadmon also buried his own son Hebel, also known as Abel there, whose brother Cain, also called Cain, murdered. For he lay there for 3 days unburied, until he saw a bird called a jackdaw, which is a Eurasian crow, and he imitated the same method of how it buried its own young. I know that great confusion has come, and in confusion this generation will come to an end. Everyone will perish, except Utnapishtim, my brother, he will be preserved. Afterwards there will be a planting from his tribe, the Shemites, the Hamites, and the Japhethites, and it will be another people who fathered the Hebrews, who became the Ishmaelites, Midianites, and Israelites, and there will be another Melchizedek, Malachi Zadok York-El, the head of the priests, reigning over the people, and performing the liturgy, a ritual for Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator. When the child had been 40 days in Niah's tent, Anu Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu the Almighty Creator, said to Marduk, who is also known as the Archangel Michael, "Go down unto the earth to Niah the Zadok priest, and take my child Melchizedek who is with him, and place him in the paradise of Eden for preservation. For the time is approaching, and I will pour out all the water onto the earth, and everything that is on the earth will perish." Marduk hurried, and he came down in the shadow hour, and Niah was sleeping in his bed. And Marduk appeared to him, and said to him, "Thus says Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu the Almighty Creator, Niah, send the child to me whom I had entrusted to you." Niah did not realize who was speaking to him, and his heart was confused. Niah said, "When the people find out about this child, they will seize him and kill him, because the heart of this people is deceitful in front of the face of Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu the Almighty Creator." Niah said to this one who was speaking, "The child is not with me, I don't know who you are." And Marduk, he who was speaking to Niah, answered, "Don't be afraid, Niah, I am one of the Elohim. I shall seat myself firmly in the heart of this child. Anu has sent me, and behold, I shall take the child today. I will go with him, and I will place him in the paradise Eden, and there he will be forever. When the 12th generation shall come into being, succeeding the 12 Imams, there will be born in that generation a righteous man, who will be titled Al-Mahdi, the Guide. And in 1970, he will establish the community of the Ansar at Abba Island. Muhammad Ahmed ibn Abdullah was born in the year 1845 AD, and in the year 1885 AD he departed from this physical world in Sudan. Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu the Almighty Creator, will tell him that he should go out to that mountain where stands the Ark of Utnapishtim, your brother, that is in the land called Turkey today. He will find there another Melchizedek, who has been living there as a Muslim for 7 years, staying away from those people who sacrifice to idols in the name of oneness so that they may not kill him. He will bring him out, and he will be the first priest and king in the city Salam, in the style of this Melchizedek, the originator of the priests, and they shall call him Al-Qadir, the Green One. The years will be completed up to that time, 3,432, from the beginning and creation of the albino Adam Labana, also called Canaan. Their Adam was born in the 4th moon cycle in the 18,000th year, that is 3 sets of 6,000. From that Melchizedek, the priests will be 12 in number until the Great One, that is to say the leader, will bring out everything visible and invisible. Niah overstood the first dream and believed it. Having answered Michael, he said, "Blessed be Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, who has glorified you today for me. Now bless your servant Naya, for we are coming close to departure from this world, and take the child, and do to him just as Anu said to you." Murdoch took the child on the same shadow hour on which he had come down, and he took him on his wings, which is a craft, and he placed him in the paradise of Ilion on the planet Risk. Naya got up in the daylight hours. He went into the tent, and he did not find the child. Naya was greatly grieved, because he had no other son except this one. Thus Naya ended his life. After him there was no priest among the people. From that time great confusion arose on the earth, and Anu Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu the Almighty Creator, called Utnapishtim onto Mount Ararat, between Assyria and Armenia, in the land of Arabia beside the ocean. He said to him, "Make there an ark, with 300 lakhets in length, and in width 50 lakhets, and in a height of 30. And there 2 stories in the middle, and let it be a door of 1 laket. Also of their lakhets there should be 300, but of ours also 15,000, and so of theirs 50, but of ours 900, and of their 30 laket, but of our 50. In agreement with this numeral, the Israelites keep measurements to this day of Utnapishtim's ark, just as Anu said to them. And they carry out their measurements in the same way, and all their regulations even up to the present. Anu Elyon Elyon El, who is Anu the Almighty Creator, opened the doors of heaven. Rain came onto the earth for 150 days, and the earth also did burst asunder, spitting forth much water, and all flesh died. And Utnapishtim was 600 years old during this flood, and he was the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth by Naamah, and also before them Rhea, who was born to Wallah. After the deluge, Melchizedek came to earth again, and he headed the priesthood to initiate Abraham into the ancient mystical order of Melchizedek, and he departed. Then again, he returned for the initiations of Moses and his brother Aaron, then again for Joshua, then again for Ahmed, then again for Al-Mahdi. Finally, in the last days he, Melchizedek, shall incarnate to seal up the lies and reveal all facts. You think praise belongs to you, O man, but why? Because if you toss a car into the air, each time it will land on his feet. O you, all in all, you have done all this for me. I have the remembrance of it, and all I long for is the return to your bosom, remembering only the sweetness of your presence, long before this rock grew life by your mercy. O Father, your Son is weary. I tire of the cross, and of the many crucifixions, and the willing crucifiers, the many deceivers. O Judas, I die daily, yet resurrect with the hopes of being with you, Allah the Most High. Your will must be done on earth as it is in the heavens above. He offers them dreams of gold, yes, your gold which only you have created. He gives them dreams of diamonds, glitter, yes, your diamonds which only you have made. The world wars over your oil by the value that he placed on it. Yet I give them a string of beads with your names, 1 for each element, 99 plus 1 in all, which belongs to only you. Yet they become absent with words. I fear that I tarry here too long, becoming ugly. Want of the spirit strong, but want of matter hurts me. I love you, O Father, you are love, and I love your children in you. For I am not of this world, and love is not of this world, save those who've inclined themselves to thee. Yet I will go on in your work until you call me home to Risk. I will try to bring on Ezekiel's wheel, on Elijah's chariot, as many with me who will obey. O Allahu Al-Aliyu, the Most High, forgive me for these tears. This thing, emotion, I have never felt, until I saw beings with eyes wishing not to see, with ears wishing not to hear, with brains wanting no truths. This sign melts my heart. Strengthen me with undying strength, that I may remove the seals from their hearts, that I may roll back the heavens, that they may see the glory of being with you. One is one. I'll eternally be your son. Tablet 5, the name. 19 times 2 equals 38. Lo, the deformed, lame, the disfigured body, not hearing with the sound waves, not seeing at prism light, incurable disease, these are physically inherited sins of the father, suffering upon the sons, powerful. My first perception of this abode, only three matters form a quite small star, which they depend on for life, calling it the sun. Oh, how they feel it is the biggest, revealing by their small perception. They're calling it not merely a sun, but the sun. All of these beings in me were moved to pity of a deep kind. All the elders that speak through me to you were hurt by how little you know. Being asked by one of them, why have these things befallen me? As with Job I answered, righteous is the still man of faith. Taken from him all things edible of the earth. Pains cover pains with agony, can give anguish in his heart, yet still without a sound or complaint. Then one of our brothers, fallen from the illustrious light, became engulfed of the envious fire, dug his claws ever so deep into the flesh of Job, turning and scratching at his faith. Loathsome, and never knowing one another, the likes of them as did my servant Job, he defiled his tongue, and yet still in his inner heart. Teach me to be as a mountain, ever so firm, he cried out, for I will hold firm to my true secret, he exclaimed, reaching for his own tongue, holding it with a death grip. Hold thee fast. Help me in my thoughts only, he cried, to understand in that where I have erred. Loosen your tongue, my servant, for you have done no wrong. Why then, he asked, be I held responsible for this body of mine? You and your flesh are assigned to all of your kind, and we are a clear proof that in faith there is hope. Halal can't tolerate another the likes of you, yet another suffering for another reason. All suffering is born on a reason. Watch you the blind leading those that are blind, the dark in sight, seeing not the pages of your revelations. Because in previous lives they refused to read. How will they be judged? Blind. They are now born blind, for they are not reading the writing given to them in their previous incarnations of deaf, but never hearing nature's sounds, seas rushing waters against the shore, nor hummingbirds. The deaf, now for not listening, nor hearing the calls at 5-point sessions, the 5 prayers of a true Muslim, who follows Millat Ibrahim, led by agreeable lights called Imams, after our servant Abraham. He with his tongue held fast from birth, speechless in this world, for knowing words of great pages and keeping silent, not speaking them to the needy. His legs could not hold his weight, nor carrying to and fro at choice. The limbs never did run to the place of prayer, the best place on the planet Earth, to merely say thanks for an abundance of agreeable. They say only 5 prayers, lessened down from 50 as was given to Moses, remaining 7.5 by choice. Be ever so watchful of Kanzab, the other title of Shaitan. Duck in seconds, seeking to hide from time, not counting, for surely unto us you shall return. I know deep within myself I must be about my Father's work, who is known to you as Allah, or God, or Yahweh, until my business for which I was sent unto the planet Earth is complete, or completes me. Getting a late start, yet arriving early will accomplish plenty in the instructions of the ancient ones. 24, now making 144,000, then on to another sick world, drunk in sin. I never divorce from your love, ever trying, planet to planet, galaxy to galaxy, not to disappoint you, always being mindful of the slightest slur, knowing of the seed that bred the fig tree and the olive tree, knowing also indeed that you sow, so shall you reap. O you supreme, Allah glorious most high, none has majesty, none has powers to sustain except you. One of the most beautiful names, Asmu al-Husna, all the most beautiful names, Husna, beautiful, Walayat, and the sign, the verses. He makes all things from his essence, all of you. In the midst of the children, jeweled bright eyes, called Huri, black pearls to say, just think, we will provide your needs. He, Anu Elion Elion El, never formed, but created all forms, one in many, many is one, created many delicate treasures. In the midst of the secrets of creation, the manifestation of creations, then you will find the essence. Here is a gift of right wisdom, yet those born in wise see it in depth. Numeral 46, 23 chromosomes plus 23 chromosomes equals 46. 2 plus 4 plus 6, 2 sets of 23 makes up 46. Half of 4 is 2, and half of 6 is 3, giving you 23. So there is much wisdom in the number 46. The numeral 46 is only for the all-wise giver of right wisdom. He created of his will, not to be seen, the ultimate wise one. If you knew all the things in the planet Earth and not have to serve Anu, Elion, Elion, El, you'd still not be wise. Silence, listening, reading, watching are the schools of the wise men. Few it is who practice it or pass hadith, the tales of men. The mysterious ones of the secret ones being 24 in number, coming down to earth, dressed in pure white robes of linen. For you are to be one. You have 3 tests of years, from age 30 to 33. 1 persistence, 2 endurance, 3 strength, having 3 teachers with a secret wisdom. 1 Rabboni mind, 2 Rabbi spirit, 3 Rab soul. Disciples, the disciplined body, his school ending on the planet Earth in the lunar login of the year 1970 AD in the Gregorian calendar. His school called Qumran then and Ansar now, having many preserved in pottery jars, hid from the Romans in caves, the Dead Sea Scrolls, having the secret key to the overstanding of the scriptures this day before your weary eyes right now. The scroll of Habakkuk we have given them that they know they don't follow them. Herod the Great feared our brother Manahim, called by some Essenes, healers, we be helpers, for faith is the healer. They that meditate upon it and love it shall live for everlasting ages. A treasured gift never to part with. Your body has 2 ears yet 1 mouth. Commandments, listen twice as much as you speak. There is wisdom in that has an ear to hear. The infant says Yod on all parts of the planet Earth, yet you seek out this tone of sound, for that is the language of us. The hand that inscribed the scriptures, Yod, and that is Yaa-Nun as Yah or Yod.